Hi guys, I'm Jonnie.
I'm Harry.
And we're Third Party. We're DJs and music producers who once came to Alchemea. So now we're back to answer a few questions. Back in school, when we were about 17 years old, in high school, and we did a music technology course. Both had an interest, I guess, a passion for music. Learnt Cubase, that was the first software we used. And kind of, I can't remember why we made tracks together to start off with. Maybe because
everybody else was making like depressing music, and we were the only two that didn't want to do that.
Probably the most similar taste in the class. That's probably the best answer. And then it began there, really. It was quite short space of time for us to then decide we actually want to do it as a career. But we didn't know we wanted to be DJs or dance producers or anything, just in music somehow, because we enjoyed it. It didn't feel right to go to university and spend 3 years learning what you could learn in 9 months here, because 3 years in the music business is a long time.
Yeah,
that was probably the most crucial reason. But obviously, when we had to have a look around, and it just felt right. It felt like the people who worked here we could get on with, and being 24/7 was probably
that was a big thing for us. Because we were living down here, so we were using it 24/7. That was a big thing for us. Yeah,
because we probably work better later. So to have it open later is just perfect.
Yeah, the practical side was that was another big selling point. And even though with what we do now, it's mainly in the box. Obviously, I mean we do use hardware, but most of EDM production is on a laptop or on, not even in your studio, sometimes just on a pair of headphones on the road. But what you learn from hardware is how to use those plugins properly. That was a big thing.
Well, and also just the amount you learn. You don't get told, right, this is what we're going to teach you and this is what you need to do to get a job. It's here's what there is in the music industry, then you find out what you love the most, then you can take it on board.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like forced down our throats that you need to make, this is how you make a dance song, or this is what you need to become what you want to become. And then that's up to you.
A lot of learning for yourself as well, which is always the best kind, I guess.
For me, Marcel, right at the beginning, because we came with a basic knowledge of Cubase, very basic, and not a lot more than that. And Marcel talked to us, and he didn't talk anything digital. It was just all audio and analog, and about how you listen to music. I think that was it changed my way of listening to music. How he described how he listened to music.
I enjoyed the writing and theoretical side with Matt McKinley. I know that we've used that a lot in our writing going forward. I've used a lot of the techniques we learned there.
The first big break for us was about 2 years after leaving Alchemea. We started getting into the dance scene more, making more dance-based records, and got picked up by Steve Angello, who is one of the biggest DJs in the world, so that was pretty crazy at that time. And then since then we've managed to get a name in the scene. Some would call it the EDM scene, which
we don't like.
Yeah, I don't really like that word, but we'll use it. And then managed to tour. We've been to America, we've been to Australia, Asia, obviously a lot of gigs in the UK, so we've been very fortunate with how it's come out for us.
England.
You have to say UK, but then South America
is coming up right now, yeah.
Because it's new to them.
And they have so much energy.
Yeah.
America does everything big and
America gets the VIP with the hardcores. Well,
Yeah.
England is more about just everyone goes for it, which is in a way a bit cooler.
Yeah.
I like the scene's doing amazing.
Yeah, there's
I
two
mean,
sides
you
of it,
can't.
isn't there?
Yeah, you can't disagree with that. How it's boomed in the last 5 to 10 years, I'd say. You had the likes of David Guetta, Swedish House Mafia cross over to America, and America, once they like something, they go crazy on it. So on that aspect, it's then South America are loving it. Asia are now really picking up on it. So I mean, you're able to get gigs everywhere, which is really, really good. The only downside we think a little bit is the music quality has dipped because people are just cashing in because they can get gigs from getting a quick name. So we try and distance ourselves a bit from the word because we almost want to be seen as like just an artist as their own, not within a certain genre. So it's 3 tracks, potentially 4, but I think it's going to be 3. And rather than our normal house tempo, which people know us for, there's going to be 1 house on there, but then we've made a drum and bass track and also more of like a dubstep type track.
I'd say the main thing is that it's not necessarily house music. We didn't, or any genre. We just made a lot, like a body of music that we liked and didn't worry about what genre it was.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was the more key, that we just wanted to make, for once we didn't want to have to think about too much about, well, if we're going to be DJing, it needs to be at this tempo.
Yeah.
Rather, more on the right, we love this song. Let's
they're
make
songs.
It.
They're not really
out there.
necessarily for our set.
I think with the amount of people trying to do it now, it's harder to stand out. So you have to give yourself the best chance, which would, for me, mean learn not just how to use like your DAW in the computer, because you can only go so far with that. If you can do a course like Alchemea, it will give you an overall knowledge of how to mix, how to produce, not just certain things you might pick up in your bedroom. You can never stop learning. We're always learning, even now. So why not give yourself the best amount of knowledge in a quick amount of time, like coming to here? That's what I would say. And
like a big thing I think is people here at the moment, the trend is that they see a track do well on Beatport or cross over commercially, and then that track does well, and then there's like 100 tracks trying to do the exact same thing, where guys can hear it and they go, okay, you do that and you make that sound on the top, but that isn't learning music, that's just copying someone. You need to know your, if you want a longer career especially, then you're gonna need to know your stuff.
Take inspiration from people, but then add your own flavour to it.
Yeah. Or just be Dutch.
Yeah.
Or have a Dutch name.
Yeah,
have a Dutch
because
name.
you end up with 100,000 Twitter fans just for being born in Holland.